Welcome back to Soda City Live. In case you're just now tuning in, we're cooking up some culinary goodness in our Soda City Live kitchen. I am joined by Private Properties chef Trip and sous chef Mary Grace, and we are learning about the local favorite Lexington spot and learning to make some of their favorite dishes. Chef, remind us, what are we making over here?
Right now we're going to do a blackened steak sandwich. So one of the big things about, blackened is a lot of people think blackened means spicy, right? But it's actually a technique that Paul Prudhomme invented in New Orleans, where you get a cast iron skillet up to like 700 degrees, get your meat to room temperature as much as you can, some clarified butter and some seasonings. And I tell you what, if you don't have a hood system at home, I mean, I don't want to set the fire alarm off here, so we're not going to do it like we would at the restaurant. But it just, the acids comes out of the meat, and the sugars in the meat caramelize and gives it like a nice crust.
Yum.
So we got some thin kind of leftover pieces.
Look at
when we cut our ribeyes. And so you can get some leftover meat from, if you went out to dinner and you have a leftover ribeye or strip, or go to the grocery store, get some flank steak, or get something just real thin, cook it real quick. Again, we're not going to smoke up the whole place, but it just has it actually, the smell and the flavor that it creates is just, it's very tough to replicate that.
Yeah.
It almost tastes like it was cooked outside like a charcoal grill. But we put a lot of love into the food, and we put a lot of time into what we're doing. And this is a technique that not a lot of people take the time to do, but it really adds a lot of flavor. And at the end of the day, we're trying to feed the customers and keep them happy. It's something we really enjoy doing. We're
going to come back to you in just a second, but first, let's talk about this bread. I'm a NOLA girl at heart. I know you've got some NOLA roots too.
Yeah.
We're not using bread from Publix here.
No, I tell you what, big thing in New Orleans, if it's not authentic New Orleans, you can't use it. So, we use Leidenheimer French bread. They're out near the Superdome. And I tell you what, I don't know if it's just because New Orleans is so below sea level, the bread rises different, but you can't have a po' boy with, bunny bread or Publix bread. Even the Publix bread is really good.
It's delicious.
It's just not, the French bread from New Orleans. This is actually, we get this through U.S. Foods, but Leidenheimer bread, and, make the po' boy. And you can't call it a po' boy unless it's on that Leidenheimer bread.
Unless you've got that classic bread. So that's, hey, NOLA natives, my Louisiana people out here know you can come out to Private and you find exactly what you need. You've got all the things. All right, I'm going to let you cook up a little bit. We're going to go back over here. So this salad is finished now. I'm going to tilt it up so we can get a nice, good look at that. Oh, my goodness. So remind me one more time, what's in this salad?
All right, so we have our local kale, candied pecans, local South Carolina strawberries, some dried cranberries, feta cheese, and our house-made vinaigrette.
That looks
This isn't on the menu at the restaurant, but it is something we tend to do for catering lunches and events.
Yeah, and so simple and honestly probably pretty easy to recreate at home. So that's really awesome. While we're finishing cooking, we got to talk about these desserts. You guys have some incredible desserts. I know these are the bourbon cookies?
Yes, these are bourbon pecan cookies.
Oh my gosh.
I make these myself, and then going back to the Leidenheimer bread, we use our loaves of that to soak in a fantastic mix for our bread pudding with a whiskey sauce that is to die for.
That sounds incredible. So you really do have everything. They've got the good apps, the good food, the good drinks, and then you top it off with a delicious dessert. That looks incredible. So thank you so much for showing us all of that. All right, what are we doing over here?
So we're slicing. So this will take a little bit of time because usually we sear it and we put it in the oven to finish it at the restaurant. But we had one already cooked, so you can, if it comes out the oven, you start slicing it. It's a little bit too rare. Just put it back in the oven for a minute. Just cook it up. But
good to know.
Always undercook it, because that way, if you overcook it, you kind of ruin the steak.
Yeah.
But you get it to the temperature you want, and we got some homemade feta cheese that we've got at the restaurant. And some people like caramelized onions. They like lettuce, tomato on it. You make it the way you want it. That's what again, Private Property is about. It's about what you want. We don't pre-script it. If you want extra stuff on it, if you don't want stuff on it, but it's just use quality ingredients. You get quality people.
Absolutely.
It's really hard to go wrong.
Well, and that's, we were talking off camera. It's not just about the food. It's about the community. It's about the people. It's about the culture, and it's all of that matters. So it's obviously you guys have great food, but it's everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see like the amount of people that are in the business of food that live in Lexington County with U.S. Foods there, and then with WP Raw, and there's just so with Adler Grits here in Lexington, the Vista. There's just so much that happens here, but a lot of people think culinary is you like to cook as a kid, so you want to be a chef. It's like playing basketball and you want to be in the NBA.
Yeah. There's
a lot of other jobs that are out there in athletics and so we're just trying to teach them how. And a lot of people like to cook as a hobby, but learning to cook as a business is a lot different. But at the end of the day, if you're not making it ultimately for the customer, we say at Private Property, we make things that we don't want to sell, but that people want to buy.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to buy it. They don't like it. It doesn't matter how much we think it's good.
Right. It's all about the customer. Customer's always right. All right. So how do we build it?
So I don't have the right knife for it, but but that's the thing. Private property, if you don't have the right knife, just use whatever knife you got.
Use whatever you got.
Because if you're at home, you just use whatever knife you got. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, like I said, we put the feta cheese on there, and then we layer. This is cooked probably a little bit rare, medium rare. You know, on the. And I tell you what, you can see right here, like this crust that's on the steak.
Wow.
It's just unbelievable.
And that's just from the seasoning.
Just for the seasoning, and that cast iron skillet. I'm telling you what, that cast iron skillet's no joke. And you know, it's difficult because you can't run those things through dish.
Yep.
You got to hand clean all of them, and
Yep.
and it takes that time. But I tell you, it makes such a huge difference when you put the time in.
Absolutely. All right, we got some veggies.
Yeah, and then you got your tomatoes. I tell you, I could just have a tomato and a blue plate mayo sandwich.
Oh yeah,
you know,
no, absolutely. I don't know if that's a New Orleans thing or what, but we did the tomato sandwiches growing up.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, it's unique for a lot of people. You know, people like Dukes, people like Hellman's, but you know.
We can argue about it all day long.
Yeah, but it's like it's what you like.
It's what you like.
Yep,
I love it. Well, that's good too. You know, picky eaters, you guys can come here. We'll find something for you.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Well, you always
delicious.
find something. Yeah, but you know, you come to the prop, and you know, this is actually a cutting board that I got one tomatoes.
Wow.
But Peter DeMonico, who's actually works for US Foods, actually handmade this cutting board as a gift for us.
Oh my gosh.
So it's we just got all sorts of folks that are helping out.
Yeah.
And, you know, helping us grow our name and stuff.
Let's really quickly before we go, thank you so much for showing us all of this. Tell me where you guys are located, how people can come on out and try the food.
Yeah, come on out. If you Google private property, I don't know that you're going to find us, but you know, we're on Main Street in Lexington, right next to Radius Church, and old big white Victorian house. So we don't have a sign out front, but if you're looking for us, you'll find us.
Yep, and you guys have a great online presence as well.
Absolutely,
Social media, website, people can order online, all that goodness. Awesome. Well, all that information is on your screen. It will also be up on our website. Chef and Mary Grace, thank you guys so much for being here and sharing this with us. All right, y'all, we will be back with more right after this.